I got that animal ambition. I got that animal ambition. I got that.
Hey, what's up, y'all? No Smoke here. This video we're being looking at 10 times WWE intentionally deceived fans by WrestleMania. The link is in the description below. Let's go.
One of the most frustrating parts about being a WWE fan is having your emotions played with. Over the years, they've been prone to edit out crowd noise and even edit out fan signs if it doesn't suit the narrative. This takes away from the pure magic of WWE, but they always know best and ultimately have a better understanding of what fans genuinely want to see. Join us now as WrestleMania looks at 10 times WWE intentionally deceived the fans. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, WrestleMania Shorts.
That beat go from head.
Number 10, the 1992 Royal Rumble. The 92 Royal Rumble wasn't the finest night of Hulk Hogan's career. Hogan competed in the Rumble match, but in shocking fashion, he was booed by the audience. This negative reaction wasn't addressed on commentary, and WWE would end up meddling with the crowd noise to make it seem like the crowd hadn't turned against their top babyface. It was reported from those watching live that Sid Justice was cheered when he eliminated Hogan from the match, but WWE decided to manipulate the crowd noise. According to Sid himself during an interview with Wrestling Inc., Hogan came back to the locker room screaming and crying as he was so distressed by the less than positive crowd response. At the Royal Rumble, when they booed Hogan, Hogan came back into the locker room screaming and crying at Vince and saying he planned that to happen to him. I actually went to Vince that night and offered my handshake and said, "Vince, I gotta go. Everything he promised me to come there never worked out, and I left a lot of guaranteed money in WCW to come work for just a percentage of houses." Number 9, the Sasha Banks sign. When Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of WWE in May of 2022, WWE made it their mission to act like Banks and Naomi had nothing to do with the company. They would even go so far as taking the trouble to edit out fan signs that were showing support to the two women, and this was seen in the summer of 2022. On the 17th June 2022 edition of SmackDown, a sign in the crowd could be seen with
I think I remember that too.
said Sasha Crew for life. Whilst the sign was harmless, WWE edited out of all digital photos for the show. WWE were treating the fans like total idiots, and they were trying to make it seem like nobody cared that Banks and Naomi had left the company, but that couldn't have been further from the truth. Number 8, AJ Styles Day. Upon the Rusev Day chant becoming one of the most popular things in WWE, they had zero intention of following this popularity up with a substantial push for Rusev. Notoriously,
Like, the backstage politics is crazily ridiculous. And that's saying something if you use those words together. If you're getting over by the crowd, why don't you just capitalize it? This just shows how much of a control freaks these guys are in the back that are involved with creative decisions. Like that, like it just showed that the fans are just dollar signs. They really don't care about their opinion. Cause like, why wasn't this guy over Rusev? Same thing with Fandango way back when he got over. Zack Ryder. The list goes on. It's ridiculous.
Stubborn when it comes to pushing their for Rusev. Notoriously, WWE have been extremely stubborn when it comes to pushing their talent who have managed to get over on their own accord. And even if it's someone who WWE wants to push, they will do anything in their power to stop their momentum. When Paige was introduced as a new SmackDown GM in 2018, she delivered a promo in which stated that Daniel Bryan will face someone on the show. Before announcing Bryan's opponent, Paige delivered a dramatic pause, and the crowd lit the arena on fire with chants of Rusev and Rusev Day. However, in an awkward moment, Paige announced that Bryan will be facing AJ Styles. In WWE's YouTube upload of the segment, they decided to edit out the Rusev chants in favor of fake AJ Styles chants. It was incredibly noticeable and a complete insult to the fan base. Number 7, Survivor Series 2014. Deception from WWE doesn't come from just a form of editing crowd noise or signs, as they can often advertise major matches and stipulations and not follow through on them. Whilst WWE uses the card is subject to change clause, it truly doesn't justify why WWE have failed to deliver promised matches and stipulations to the paying audience. Take for instance in 2014, WWE featured a Team Cena vs Team Authority match at Survivor Series. If Team Cena won, the Authority would be out of power and removed from WWE television. It's worth noting that the reception to the WWE product at this time, in particular the reception to the Authority angle, wasn't the best, and fans wanted to see Authority figures off WWE television. This allowed fans who were disgruntled with what WWE were delivering and had switched off months prior to finally return to the product. However, just a month after the show, the Authority were back on television, making the whole angle a complete waste of time. WWE had purposely deceived the audience into thinking that the product was getting a huge overhaul, but it was just a cheap sales tactic. Number 6. The
Now, this whole list is just insulting the fans. That right there was a prime example. If we win, you're off WWE television. They come back, what, weeks after? Come on, man.
The LA Knight fiasco. LA Knight has
And that's not the only time. Maybe it's gonna be on the list too, but with like The Rock and John Cena talking about once in a lifetime. They wrestle again the next year. Triple H versus Undertaker, talk about end of an era. Bro, they wrestled again for like the following year. What? If there's one thing WWE is good at, that is false advertisements. My gosh.
resonant tactic. Number 6. The LA Knight fiasco. LA Knight has resonated with the fans since he reverted to his popular LA Knight persona, but WWE have been reluctant into turning LA into a babyface. While he's always received a positive reaction each week on SmackDown, they insist on keeping LA Knight as a top heel. In May of 2023, SmackDown was taped due to WWE hosting a show in Saudi Arabia, and when LA came out for his match against Rick Boogs, WWE decided to heavily edit out the crowd noise, and they even piped in fake boos. WWE weren't even subtle with the editing, as the audio sounded completely fake. Fans on social media were quick to call out WWE for this manipulation, and it's an utter farce that they evidently believed that nobody would notice their antics. Number 5. Ignoring.
You see? Bro. Time out. Hold up a minute. You're like, what, $1 billion company? And you telling me you couldn't even do it? You couldn't even do the boo noises correctly? What the?
Sting's past.
Jokes.
Often in WWE, the company likes to rewrite established history. They control the narrative on what is presented on screen, and when Sting finally signed with WWE in 2014, they decided to outright pretend like he hadn't spent a number of years in the rival promotion TNA. They were fine with referencing Sting's run in WCW, but the sheer thought of mentioning TNA in any capacity was just a no-no. This was ridiculous on the part of WWE, as even the most casual wrestling fan knew that Sting had been in TNA. They were trying to deceive the audience by spinning this fictional tale that Sting had mysteriously disappeared following the dissolvement of WCW. Number 4. Survivor Series 9.
It kind of, in that regard, because WWE has always done that. They always ignore like the other wrestling promotions, like TNA, like you just stated. Ring of Honor, they don't mention until like CM Punk pipe bomb. And that was like one time. That recently they've been saying shots, talking about like TNA's hiring, or we could even talk about AEW, right? But at that time and prior, they would rarely, if not never, mention them. WCW does under WWE umbrella, so that's obvious. But that part, me personally, I can't even be mad at that. It would have been like that though. And I guess it's kind of a diss too if they acted like Sting mysteriously disappeared too, considering TNA is such a small company. So you could take that for a grain of salt.
1999. The 99 Survivor Series advertised one of the biggest matches possible for the respective time. Triple H was going to defend his title against The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in a triple threat match. This was worthy of a WrestleMania main event slot. There was a ton of hype heading into the match. Sadly, before the match took place, Austin had been informed that he needed to take a step back from wrestling due to problems with his neck. But instead of changing the match ahead of time, they decided to trick the audience and pretend like Austin would indeed be competing in the main event triple threat matchup. On the pay-per-view itself, they would air the infamous segment which saw Austin run down by a car, and then the Big Show would take Austin's place in the matchup, to the sheer disappointment of the audience. Number 3. Daniel Bryan's popularity toned down. Between 2013 to 2015, Daniel Bryan's popularity in WWE had skyrocketed. Unfortunately, similarly to Rusev, Bryan wasn't a handpicked main event talent in WWE, so they tried to dampen the popularity
Control
of him by
freaks.
using underhanded tactics. There were rumors of WWE editing crowd responses for Bryan, but there was a report before a show in 2015 which stated that WWE weren't allowing fans to bring signs into the arena in support of Daniel Bryan. The report stated that security told fans in question that there were too many pro-Bryan signs already. This was a new low, even for WWE, and thanks to the power of social media, the world quickly learned about WWE's toxic way of controlling their anti-Bryan narrative. Number 2. Roman Reigns' babyface era. The babyface run of Roman Reigns was a colossal failure in every aspect. It was forced, unnatural, and by the end of it in 2020, even Reigns himself was at his wit's end with WWE creative. One of the main issues with Reigns' run as a babyface is that they would outright ignore any negative reactions to him. The crowd universally rejected Reigns as a babyface, but they would once again try to deceive the audience by editing crowd noise in the most unsuspecting way imaginable. One of the more notable instances of this was on Raw in 2017. Reigns and The Undertaker would have a stare down on Raw, and on the live broadcast, Reigns was met with thunderous chants of Roman sucks. When the time came for WWE to upload their segment on their YouTube channel, they completely removed the negative chants, making it seem like the fans were overjoyed to see Reigns on the show, when it obviously wasn't the case. And number 1, Roman Reigns' heel era. Fast forward to 2020 and the WWE made the bold
FYI, if I want to see a wrestling clip on YouTube, I am 100% not going to the WWE YouTube channel, bro. The amount of subscription they have is, to me, is ridiculous. But it's probably from a bunch of kids that probably don't know better, because the censoring they do on there is ridiculous. I'm better off not going over there, to be honest. The hell am I gonna go over there for? Come on, bro. Be for real. I want to see the whole real thing.
Fast forward to 2020 and the WWE made the bold yet welcome move to turn Roman Reigns heel. This was a move which resulted in significant success both for Reigns as a character and the WWE as a business, and Reigns was truly outstanding in this role from day one. Due to Reigns' work being so expertly delivered, the crowd would often give him applause, and due to WWE wanting Reigns to be their top heel, they've been prone to meddle with the crowd audio. This was the case when Reigns delivered a promo on SmackDown from Madison Square Garden in 2021. Reigns received arguably one of the most positive reactions of his entire career. But this was the one WWE wanted, so they decided to edit in boos when uploading the promo to their YouTube channel. Due to the cheers being so loud, snippets of the cheers can even be heard behind WWE's lackluster fake audio. But nevertheless, they once again decided to manipulate the crowd noise to suit their agenda.
You see? WWE YouTube channel. And the fact that you can hear the cheers is crazy. And plus, look at Roman Reigns. Does he look like he could be like a John Cena or the ultimate babyface? Come on, bro. Be for real. Oh my god. I'm not the only one I feel about this, man. WWE do a lot of stupid things, bro. This sums it up right here, this whole video.
Agenda audio so loud, snippets of the cheers can even be heard behind WWE's lackluster fake audio. But nevertheless, they once again decided to manipulate the crowd noise to suit their agenda of the time.
Roman will not stop
They
his reign.
folks,
That's
10
hilarious.
times WWE intentionally deceived the fans.
I mean, I can't say if any other wrestling promotion does this, but WWE, man, they top notch. And it kind of makes sense because Vince McMahon, though he is promoting wrestling, that's not what his whole agenda is. That's why he calls it sports entertainment, because he want to get away from wrestling and make it a whole TV show. From what I seen in Jim Ross's book, Under the Black Cat, like, but despite his effort, I mean, obviously it's still a wrestling show. That's why they do all these extra stuff with the editing noises, and they like kind of ignore the fans from what they want to do with their wrestlers and stuff, Bottom line though, they're still control freaks. It is what it is. I'm still gonna watch it. People still gonna watch it. We like the business. But yeah, so this is 10 times WWE intentionally deceived the fans. So yeah, peace. I'm out.